Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elephant Dragon. So last episode we went and built up this ship here that we have floating in our port, and I am quite happy with how this thing turned out. I think it's a really cute little ship, and I really enjoy doing this. So, we are going to try and get in a few more. Now, we've got one problem. We don't exactly have a space up here to build ships in part because we've got the wall around the outside here for our compass. So there's not exactly much space. It's either far enough within that's not completely hilly, and there's not enough space outside of it that is flat enough for us to actually put in a little shipyard. But I think that that's what we're going to try and get done today. Do kind of want to re-fly that end ship, get it somewhere out here. I know it's a little too big to fit in between our docks, but I realized one thing that we could do is we could have balloons that go up to ships that are too big on the docks and have that bring down the cargo and everything else. That might be something fun that we could do. So I think on one of these, maybe this one, since it's kind of out of the way, there's no real way for ships to dock on the side there. Maybe we could put in a small little area for the balloons to go up. We'll have our ship floating up above, and hopefully that'll work. But first, we need a place where we can put it back together. And I've marked out a couple areas here that kind of highlight the problem that we have. The first one is where I originally wanted to put the shipyard, which would be right over here. So we have this section here, kind of marked it out mostly with our scaffolding here. So between this scaffolding and that one over there, then all the way up to the teal wall all the way in the front there would be where we need to put the shipyard in order to put stuff together. And you can see this is kind of a nice area. We've got, I suppose, kind of like a river thing here, separating our island. Got a nice little cove. The issue is, this is very much hilly terrain. So we'd have to do a lot of work on this. A lot of work to get the rest of the terrain here to kind of fit around it. And on top of that, the front doors would be blocked by the road. Above, we have the path still, which is pretty much going to be there the entire area that we put anything in. So I don't think that that's going to work. Now, the second area is this one right here. And I think this will do. We've got an area here marked out by the scaffolding with end rods on it. You can kind of see over there is our corner. Still mostly flat. It's not going to be too hard to get the terrain around this thing to work. So I think we might put that there. It just means that we won't have some of our little buildings. At least one of them won't be here. We can move this one, or at least make this one a little bit more narrow. And I guess put like some sort of shops or something right up in the front over here. And go from there. Or just like turn this area into all path. Just put little stalls and stuff. Okay, I'm kind of liking that idea. So I guess it's time for us to go mark out the outer edges of the shipyard, and then we'll be right back. Alright, so there we go. We now have at least the base in. Don't have anything on the inside quite yet. This should allow us to go and mark out some of our doorways. I think we want a nice big one here on the side, just so that we can get our ships out. So it's 6 blocks. Let's start at 7. That 3, 6, 7. I don't quite think that that is going to be enough. It's a nice door, but looking at the inside here, I think we need to go out one more. Means we can carve that back a little bit. We will take out all the stuff on the inside here and do the inner wall once that's in. But I think, yeah, that'll do it for the big door. Now we just need to get in a couple little doors here on the sides, so Do a door here. 7 blocks in. And we'll do another one, same spot on the other side. That'll just be for a little bit easier access into different parts. Main big door where ships are gonna, it's the ship parts are gonna come in is going to be there. So, yes, about ready to get ships, or at least parts of the ship coming in here, and getting ready to start building. But let's go get in a floor. Do need to get the rest of the walls here into as well. I just wanted to get 2 blocks up with the stone, I think. I think that'll be good. That'll just give it a nice strong base. And then we're going to use some birch wood and... Okay, I guess we're going to go get some birch wood. So I'm going to go get more birch logs, and then we'll be back. So that also gave me some time to figure out what we want to do for the floor there. Alright, so we've been building up some of the walls, and this thing is going to be bigger than I originally thought it was going to be. As you can see, we just have the front wall in for now. We're mixing in a bit of oak with the birch, so it's not quite so plain. We've got a huge doorway right here. We should probably get some doors on that thing. And that probably should actually be pretty much the entire length of this side here, but no, we'll keep it like this for now. And yeah, we still have a long way to go before this is fully in place for the walls. But I'm thinking we might as well start at least laying down keel for our end ship. So I've got all of our supplies. Should be able to get most of this to work. I think we need more glass, but hopefully we can get that in. I think we're going to need more scaffolding to build this thing though. But we do have the floor in. I am quite happy with how this turned out. I do like the logs here in the middle, the obsidian, and the polished deep slate. I think that turned out well. I like the kind of pattern decoration that we have going around the edge here. So this is going to be the area where we're mostly going to be walking around to work, to get to different parts of the ship to work on it. And this center section here is going to be where the ship is actually going to be worked on. So that's going to be in a little bit, but yeah, we still have quite a ways to go. This pillar here takes us all the way up to the top. I think because of just how tall this is going to have a flat roof. There's no way we're getting pretty much any sort of arched roof on this thing, not with the pathway literally right here. We may run into an issue with the sign. So we've got quite a bit of stuff to do. I also want to do a little bit better transition here between the stone and the wood. But other than that, this is slowly coming along. We definitely need some more patterning here on the outside. So I think I'm going to put in a few birch logs, at least in various areas here. Hopefully that'll work. I think maybe we need to move the stones an extra block up, just so that the doors are set in there. Yeah, I think that's going to be what needs to happen. But we can at least get some posts in. I think we'll get some fence posts in here as well. What that is, especially since we can't kind of fit on all the sides. Anyway, we have a lot of detail work to do, and we might as well just start getting the ship in. So, I'm going to keep working on these walls, hopefully get them looking a little bit better, and I think I'm going to try to hopefully get at least the base of the end ship in so that we can start working on repairing that and hopefully getting that functional again. Still don't know how we're getting it out of this place. Fortunately, I think our arrow here is just a little bit higher than where the wall needs to go to. So, again, I'm going to go work on the walls here. I'm going to go get the ship started, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so we got all the walls in. There's still no decoration on them, but I think having 3 rows of bricks and endstone is definitely the right call. And we'll still have to play around with how we want to do the detailing for this, but for now, we have at least I think the keel of our end ship here in. It's not standing up right now because I don't have enough scaffolding to do that, but we have started to get a ship built here, and it looks like this thing is going to be really, really tight in here. I think the bow might be sticking out the entrance here once we're done. But we're gonna have to go get some scaffolding here to help support this thing. And as you can see, we don't quite have the roof on the top. I don't want to leave it open, just see what the opening was up top. And yeah, no, we definitely cannot get a ship out of there. I don't know how we're gonna get this thing out, but we'll try. We may have to knock out the doorway here a little bit wider, get the ship out, and then go from there. But for now, I think I'm just going to focus on getting the ship in. So I'm going to go try and get a little bit more. I'm also going to go get a couple stacks of our scaffolding that we have back at the redstone pit so we can actually get that thing to stand up. And then I'll be right back. All right, so we've gotten a few bits in here. So far, we have most of the hold in here right now. Just getting a little bit more scaffolding in here to help support this thing. But it is coming along really well. As you can see here now, we've got the first layer here. We've got pretty much the entire hold. Shulker would be here. You'd have two chests here normally. And then your elytra would be right there. We're not going to put in that. We might put in some barrels here. And we're definitely not putting in a shulker in this thing. But it is slowly coming along. I seem to have misplaced a little bit of the endstone bricks, so we're going to have to go find some of that. And we may have to go figure out where we put a brewing stand. I don't know if that's actually important or not. The one that we grabbed did not have it because we had already grabbed it. I think that brewing stand is actually in our village here. So we may not need to go get a brewing stand. We may get one anyway, just because why not? But yeah, the ship is a little bit bigger than our shipyard here. So the dragon head there is sticking out of the front there. And we do only have one block on the back here. Not too bad, but still. It is very, very interesting seeing all this come together. But I'm quite happy with how this is turning out. It seems like our shipyard here is perfect for building up a ship. And now we've just got to get the rest of this thing in. So I'm going to go get back to work. Go figure out where we have a bit more endstone bricks laying about so we can actually get this in. And finish getting at least up to this deck. I don't think we're going to be able to put the other mast on. I don't even know if we're even going to be able to put the main mast in. We do have the pillar in the center here that would support it, but I think we're going to leave both of those out for now. Mainly because it won't fit through the door if we do. I don't think it'll fit through the door anyway, but no matter. So I'm going to go get the rest of that built up, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so it's a bit of a snug fit, but the ship is in fully. We may have to widen the door a little bit more just to get the top here in. But the front here is it technically fits under the door. The ship is a little bit wider, so we'd have to actually move the door out. Actually, only by 2 more blocks on each, no, 3 more blocks on each side. So pretty much this ship takes up the entire space inside our shipyard here. So we may have to deconstruct it again and move it outside. But it's built. Presumably it's functional. I don't know, I haven't tried to fly it, quite frankly. I'm a little scared to try and get this thing moving while it's still in the building. Probably a good thing we haven't decorated the outside yet. But we now have a more or less complete end ship here that we can fly around, hopefully, and get going. Again, we don't have the masts, but they're not going to fit in here anyway. I think the main one would stick out the roof anyway, and this one here, yeah, I think we'd hit that wall. But other than that, it's not too bad. Quite happy with how this thing turned out. Maybe we'll try and replace bits and pieces with some other materials other than purple. I don't know, I'll have to do some more experiments as to whether or not the purple is actually significant in getting this thing to fly. But for right now, it's built, still being supported by its scaffolding here. Should get a little bit more, but it is now completely done, and I am pretty happy with it. But with that, that is probably going to be it for today, actually. I still have to figure out what we're doing with this ship and how we're getting this thing out of here again. So that's going to be fun. But right now, we're just going to make sure that it is as supported as it can be and go from there. But that is going to be a problem for future me. So thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more. What is going on in this end hub if we ever manage to get this ship out of here and in the rest of this world. And I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.